We are getting ready for our next excursion. We are here with Captain Andy's and we are doing a snorkel excursion today. We are going up the Na Pali Coast. We're getting in that 24-foot raft over there. We will be going to a little place off of Kauai. It's one of the old Hawaiian villages, and we're going to be doing a little hike there. We're going to get some lunch. We're going to see, we're going to do some snorkeling. We're going to see some sea caves, some waterfalls, hopefully some dolphins, but it's going to be so much fun. Captain Andy's came very highly recommended. There's different places where you can catch a boat to go up and see the Na Pali Coast. Other guides and other fishing, and not fishing, but boating excursions, they start over at Port Allen. Well, Captain Andy starts here, at the location where we're at, and it's closer to the Na Pali Coast, so you're not seeing just a bunch of stuff on, like seashore and island that, is kind of wasting your time. So Captain Andy's came very highly recommended. I will put a link in the description. I'm going to show you guys everything that we experienced today. We are super excited about this one. And today's my birthday, so happy birthday to me. This is like the best way to spend my birthday with my family. We boarded this custom 24-foot rigid hull raft for a 45-minute thrilling boat ride around the island over to the breathtaking Na Pali Coast. I won't be filming because we're going pretty fast in the boat and I've got to hold on. Once we arrive, I'll get my phone back out at our first stop. Just take a little dip here. We're just on the edge of the Na Pali Coast. Yeah, swimming in paradise, that's for sure. So here we are. This is our raft that we're on. And we're here, right? Look at how beautiful that water is. We're just taking a little break. We'll swim. Our captain was very knowledgeable and shared all sorts of interesting facts throughout our excursion. Take a listen.
The most dense rock in Hawaii. It's called Hawaiian. But the only way to get to this beach is by kayak or a little small motorized boat. And a lot of people will launch their kayaks and come really early in the morning from Polihali, try to beat the wind, and get up here. And it's about a 6-mile paddle. Or the other way to do it, they start on the north shore up by Hawaiian, paddle down 14 miles, and then they camp here. But then when they leave, they continue down to Polihali and have a buddy pick them up. That way they go with the wind and with the current the entire trip, even though it's a 20-mile trip instead of a 12.
We were amazed by the amount of waterfalls, sea caves, and sea life that we saw on our trip. Hey, there's a sea turtle. Here's a 2-for-1. See the waterfall on the left of the screen and the water cave behind it? Crewman Lucas shared fun facts with us as we explored these areas. We not only got close, but we even went inside some of the sea caves. Such a very cool experience. Next, we went into one of the coolest caves along the coast, the open ceiling cave. This is famous and it's in somebody's music video. I'll get to that in a minute.
Young Hawaiian men will lure a tiger shark into this cave, block off the entrance with canoes and netting, and then they would all stand on this rock you can see in the middle and take turns jumping in the water to wrestle this tiger shark. The ceiling became too heavy to support itself and it came crashing down in the middle. So the rock in the middle was once the ceiling. That makes sense.
Oh, okay.
About 40 feet deep.
The rock in the middle was once the ceiling of the cave. Fun fact about the rock in the center that used to be the ceiling, Mary J. Blige filmed her music video, Everything, while standing on the rock in 6-inch stilettos. Captain Ted pointed out as we exited the cave that the water looks like Windex. Check it out. It's just so beautiful. Everywhere we turned, there was another waterfall and cave to explore. I was very impressed with our driver, Captain Ted, and his amazing skills. He's been driving with Captain Andy's for 40 years. And I should mention that we did our excursion in the summertime, and it just is dependent upon the weather if you can go inside the sea caves. Oftentimes during the winter, they don't get to go inside the caves. This entire experience from stepping onto the boat to docking is about 6 hours long. During this portion of the trip, we explored along the Na Pali coast. We drove in and out of sea caves, past many locations where movies were filmed. Like you might recognize this from the movie 6 Days and 7 Nights with Anne Hesh and Harrison Ford, or this is a location seen in one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies as well. We learned history about the island. Our guides were extremely knowledgeable. I really enjoyed this laid-back time. It was about 2 hours of cruising along the coast.
Have any of you guys been to New York City? Well, the peak above this beach is actually 3 stories taller than the Empire State Building.
3 stories taller than the Empire State Building? Wow. Some of the most beautiful views in the world are found here along the Na Pali coast. I was blown away by this spectacular location. We stopped in the water to get some videos and photos, and it just doesn't do it justice. This location is absolutely breathtaking. I will never get over this view. Now for probably the most exciting cave we went into today. We were lucky we got to go in. You can't always go into this cave because it's very shallow. Just take a look at how beautiful it is in here. There's an awesome waterfall inside. It's just so fascinating. What an awesome opportunity to go here. It was a tight squeeze, I'm telling you, but Captain Andy is the best. Take a look at his mad skills. Backside of water. Now sit back and enjoy some of the views of the Na Pali coast before we go snorkeling. This is where they filmed Jurassic Park. Next stop was at the beach of this old Hawaiian village. I'll show you more in a minute, but first we jumped out of the boat to snorkel in this beautiful water. We had this location all to ourselves. Captain Andy's provides snorkel gear for this part of the excursion. The water was so clear. I tried to capture some footage with my camera, but it's not the best. Just trust me, it was incredible snorkeling in this area. And at the end, we saw a large school of fish, which I'd never seen before. Check it out. Okay, so we just stopped for our lunch. This is included with your Captain Andy's beach snorkel sale. This looks like really good food. I'm excited. A little bit of everything. This is not just your sandwich. This is like a hot meal. Nice. teriyaki chicken, Kahlua pork, roll, fruit, salad, cookie, roll. All right, let's dig in and look at where we get to be for our beautiful lunch. After we enjoyed our lunch, which there was plenty to eat, even seconds for my hungry boys, we then gathered with our group for a little nature hike. The website says hike, but this was more like just an easy little walk around the beach. We learned about the Hawaiians who inhabited this part of the island long ago. They estimated about 200 people lived in this area. As we started our walk, just off in the distance, we could hear some rustling of leaves, and our guide pointed out the herd of goats that live on this part of the island. Take a look at them. So very cool.
See that one, like kind of in the back, that's like super extra big? That's the big grandpa that rules the herd. With the beard, yeah. Grandpa beard. Yeah, we found our goats, you guys. These are our resident population of goats, actually, because they're all mountain goats. So when they climb down, they come through the valley, and there's like a 10-foot drop when they're coming down. So most of them can make it down the drop, but they can't make it back up.
Okay, so that right there would have been like a structure of one of their homes. Over here, these piles of rocks are like graves. People are buried underneath there. And then these trees that we're in, this is actually one of the fruits that the guide was just talking about. They're all over in here.
Yeah. Does anybody know who Pele is? Yeah? Not the soccer player. Yeah, so Pele is the Hawaiian goddess of lava, the goddess of creation. And she was believed to have created all of the Hawaiian islands. And you guys know when an artist is done with their painting, they'll sign their name at the bottom. Well, this was Pele's way of signing off on the island of Kauai. She wanted to let everybody know that there would be no more lava flows, no more seismic activity. So she chose this big, beautiful wall to put her signature to tell everyone.
So the villagers who lived here, this was where they would bring their canoes up, and the canoes were very important to the Hawaiian people. It's how they traded their goods to other villages up and down the coastline. And then this is where it was kind of like their garage where they would put the canoes, and they would have guards that would stand here, and then they would store their canoes, and they would have like poles that would come up out of the ground, and they create a roof, and then they'd have guards standing here to protect their canoes, which were very important to them as a people. Very cool. This was a fun little hike, nature hike, I would say walk, not hike. Interesting to learn about the Hawaiian village that was here. And here is the state park where we had our lunch. And then out here is where we snorkeled. Out here in this beautiful water. And then down there is the 24-foot raft boat we've been riding on through the waters. We just got back from our amazing Captain Andy's boat tour. So we rode on this raft, this 24-foot raft, and I'm telling you here, Captain Ted and crewman Lucas, they were amazing today. We had such an awesome time. We got to go snorkeling, we got to go into caves, we got to see the Na Pali Coast, we saw sea turtles, you name it, and these guys were the best. Thank you so much for having us today, and Captain Andy's, we appreciate you. We are excited. We're actually going to do also the dinner cruise tomorrow night. So you guys, thank you. Thumbs up. We appreciate you. And if you get
more fun.
Yeah, that's right. We appreciate you guys. And if you ever need to, or you're here in Kauai, definitely check out Captain Andy's.
The best trip in all of Hawaii.
For sure. We probably the best experience we've had since we've been on the island. Thank you so much. Honestly, you guys, that was so much fun. It was such a thrill to ride in that. They call it a raft, but you guys, it was more like just a boat bouncing around on the water, and it was thrilling. So if you're a thrill seeker, you're looking to go out on the water, you want to see the Na Pali Coast from a different experience, different view, I highly recommend definitely using Captain Andy's. If I had to book just one thing when we were here in Kauai, this would definitely be it. Super thrilling, exciting, got to see so much, and the meal that we had was amazing. The food was good, good help, just excellent service, and I really enjoyed this. So I would definitely recommend Captain Andy's. There's lots of ships and stuff that go up and down the coast. Captain Andy's, the location right here where they leave from is a shorter distance around to the Na Pali Coast. And so it's better, you're not traveling as far in the water. But for the 6 hours that we were on that boat, highly recommend. It was definitely worth the money.